Hello everyone, I'm sorry to say this week's episode is probably going to be quite different to usual. Sadly, we did have some technical issues that has prevented Will's audio from coming through for over half the recording this week, which is quite sad to say, to be honest with you, and quite shocking that I didn't pick up on it earlier. I am so sorry. Been one of those weeks with technical issues. But hope, fingers crossed, everything will be up and running and everything will work perfectly fine next week. I'm just putting this in as a slight warning because I am going to be cutting down the episode into a segment where basically will be able to continue from, and you'll basically see how that goes. I do hope you'll enjoy nonetheless, and I am so sorry for the technical issues this week. Thanks. Mindseye Actor reacts to the game's troubled launch. Actor Alex Hernandez says it's not a lack of quality assurance, which means it's apparently not a lack of game testing. Mindseye launched earlier this month, but didn't come out of the gate in a great state. That's the understatement of the century. With players encountering a range of problems, bugs, and other issues, actor Alex Hernandez, who plays main character Jake Diaz, has now commented on the game's buggy release, offering to take up his take on what might have happened. It's going to be a situation of, does he have any knowledge really other than voice acting on the sphere? But we'll figure that out as we go, I suppose. Speaking to Check It TV, Hernandez, he believes developer BuildARocketBoy decided to launch Mindseye with issues with a plan to fix them after launch. That's an awful idea. It's not a lack of QA. I met the QA testers and they seemed competent at their job. But for whatever reason, the company decided to release something that has these issues and then taking care of it post-release. Obviously, we were not the first game to do that. Hernandez said Cyberpunk 2077 is an example of another game that launched in a rough state and then was improved over time with updates. There's a big difference. I'll be honest as well, just this comment itself is extremely disingenuous. Because, yes, in this instance, we don't know exactly what the reason is that they decided to launch in this instance. But the main thing was, Cyberpunk 2077, the reason they were forced to launch was because of the player base. Players were screaming for a launch because it had been pushed back for more work and more work. Which, yes, it could have been handled better by the developers by just staying quiet for a longer period of time without putting a release date in there. He really needs to understand that basically there is a big difference between the two situations, but we also need to hear a bit more to understand why they went down this way. But I'm very surprised IO Interactive, of all publishers, would ever attempt this. They're not the development team, so completely understandable there, but as publishers, they should know very well this does not fly, especially with all their Hitman experience, especially with 500 million invested. Jesus Christ. Hernandez went on to say that he doesn't love the model of a developer selling a game for full price with issues at launch and then fixing them over time. If we go early access, and I mean proper early access on Steam, for example, I think a really good example of this is No More Room in Hell 2 actually would be a good example of this. So No More Room in Hell 2 starts out at £25. That's default price when it's not on sale. When it is 100% complete and the game is ready for launch, released and everything else, that price will go up because it's in 1.0. They know it's in a better state. They know that there are not going to be anywhere near as many bugs. The game is going to be finished, so then it's worth more of a price. And anyone that's willing to test it for now, yeah, they're going to charge you entry, but you're not going to be charged as much as someone who gets it when it's at full release. That's the way this is usually done on Steam. And I think it's a good idea for early access. And I think, genuinely, if you are going to release a game in that state, you should end up either having to refund a certain amount of the cost or full cost if that's what they've asked for.
Yeah, and you're 100% right. The way No More Room in Hell 2 are doing it is a prime example of the way it should be done. It's £25 for the game now. Probably will be for still a good period of development. By the time they get to version 1.0 release, whenever that is, it doesn't matter because you can play the game now and it's a decent price. It's reasonable. When they get to version 1.0, however, they will have every right to, I would say, double the price tag if they can consider it a full-fledged, fully released game. Sure, they can still do updates. There's plenty of games that still do it. You can move on to higher versions of the game, whatever you want. But we're talking about the difference between early access, which is pre-version 1.0, and then full release of version 1.0. And
Yeah,
they can have different price tags, and it's reasonable.
no, exactly that, mate. Exactly that. I think it's very much going to be a situation that we'll have to wait and see as we go. And I do think that's a very interesting idea, though, to have a limit on how much they can charge dependent on what they actually have and get a regulation and review of what they've released.
Realistically,
It's
as well, it's going to look better for Steam and publishers who decide to go through with it because we've seen quite a few games now that have been released and full refunds have had to be issued to tens of thousands of players, and
yeah,
that can't look good for a massive company like Steam.
no, it'll look absolutely abysmal for them, honestly, and they they really do need to pay attention to these things.
And surely as well, like if that happens where every player gets issued a refund for a game, surely that's gonna in the long run they come out negative on that. Like they lose money.
Realistically, yes.
Because once you think about taxes and all that, I'm sure you don't get like refund on taxes for that sort of thing.
No, not
And
particularly.
that's just one example. Like we don't know how many different costs and stuff go into publishing and marketing and all that stuff.
Yeah. He said, I don't love that model. I'm not a business person. I have no idea why that decision gets made. I will just say that from a consumer perspective, and I am sure a lot of people feel this way, I think it does more long term harm than good to your reputation to release something that feels like it is in a state of less than 100% and then charge 100% of the price. Pretty much exactly what you said there.
Yeah. It's like you don't go into a shop and pay full price for a tin of juice and get handed a quarter of the tin of juice.
No, exactly.
That is an absolute ridiculous analogy, but it kind of works.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, you do
To
that
put
with
it in like a
crust.
simple fuck off.
80%
Not
of the bag is there.
yeah, not to sort of cut him off from what he's saying there, but the next article sort of you know about their reputation and all that.
Yeah. Additionally, Hernandez said he would rather see developers embrace an early access model where the developer is upfront with players about issues so that fans know what they're signing up for. Exactly. A good early access build like we were just mentioning as well.
The issue is though, if they're gonna like just because they say it's early access, that doesn't make everything better. They're still charging full price.
Yeah.
That's kind of the issue we're getting at here.
No, exactly. I mean, to be honest, the bit there he stated
Yeah,
exactly, state less than 100% and then charging 100% of the price. It's just not right.
yeah.
Just
I'm
ahead of
sure in the long run you're going to lose out on revenue because you're releasing your game at a lower price, but you're releasing less of the game as well.
yeah,
So
exactly that.
why should people have to pay full price for empty promises as well? Given the last couple of years and all the early access games we've seen that are still in early access and not even close to completion.
Yeah. Just ahead of the release of Mindseye, a pair of senior executives left the developer, while BuildARocketBoy is said to be cutting staff following the game's release. The game was published by Hitman Studio IO Interactive. Sad times.
They
Build
definitely
a
regret it.
Yeah, Build a Rocket Boy is headed up by Leslie. Yeah, you're just a dick.
This guy.
The former Rockstar Games veteran. GameSpot's Mindseye review scored a 3 out of 10. What do you mean impressive visuals?
Uh,
I think I played a different
okay.
game to them. I've got to have,
It's
right?
seeing like because I remember what we were looking at,
Yeah.
uh, and it looked like the most basic sort of GTA Vice City graphics we've seen.
You know what? There was one game I played this year that I didn't play for very long because I found it more amusing to play than actually enjoyed it. But I'll tell you what, it had amazing graphics.
Oh God.
Now, I've got to admit, it had really nice graphics.
Yeah,
Graphically, it
like
was
the
a
the
superb
opening the
game.
opening scene, the opening scene, like just the environment you were in was spectacular.
Yeah, and all the messing you and me did with the video settings. We tried
Yeah.
to ruin my PC. It didn't work,
Oh yeah.
impressively. It actually ran surprisingly well, considering. You turn off one option and all of a sudden everything's working.
Was
But
it? Was it ray tracing that was the main issue?
it was, yes. But it worked fantastically, and it was well optimized, ran well, didn't really have any issues. It was just I couldn't get along with the base mechanics. That was it. But I had a
Yeah.
laugh. I enjoyed it. And I genuinely do believe that if you want to talk about graphics, that's a game you should talk about.
Well, the next one
Jesus.
that you're going to be talking about for graphics, mate, seemingly from what I've heard anyway, is going to be Death Stranding 2.
Yeah, Death Stranding 2 graphically is stunning, and on top of that, they've had loading times from the menu on the PS5. They've timed them for 1.5 second loading.
Very nice. When that thing gets released to PC, mate, it's going to be spectacular.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't care if the game itself is like the most mundane piece of crap ever. Just getting to look at it is going to be impressive. Just
oh
to
yeah.
see like what is doable.
Like I've played the first one, I loved it, so I'm most likely going to pick up the second one and give it a try, see what we've got. But I'm very
Some is
excited to do so.
currently playing the first one.
Yeah, it's they are good games if you like a good story, and I do. And also, it's from the mind of the madman that is Hideo Kojima. So
You know, I like a lot of single player games, but
yeah.
I don't play them solely for story. You know,
Oh, I know you don't.
I still like to enjoy the main mechanics of the game and all that, and actually just going through it. I will pay attention to the story for the most part, but I can easily like fall off and lose interest in the story.
Yeah, I've seen that happen a couple times to you. The
I don't know
layoff
what you're on about.
process has, yeah, I bet. The layoff process has begun at Mindseye, developer of BuildARocketBoy, according to a new report. This follows an absolutely disastrous launch for the studio's first title, which is currently the worst reviewed game of 2025. That's
Well,
impressive.
is there not actually another one? It just doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, I suppose you can't really call it a game anymore, can you? Or even a
No.
company, because that thing got disbanded quicker than it started. A source at BuildARocketBoy told IGN that the company has begun the 45-day
Okay. Okay.
consultation
Sorry to
process.
cut you off. Can we go to Steam DB and just look at Mindseye and Concord? Because it still exists in Steam DB, doesn't it?
What, Concord?
Yeah.
Let's see. Do you
Oh
still have
yeah.
your player? No, he finally
How
dropped off.
how does it have 66%? I guess people just didn't have time to read it.
Pretty much. Have you noticed
We
that they're still getting this one player every now and again?
Guy really wants to hit max level.
He really does. He's going for them achievements. To be
So
fair, that
somehow
wasn't even that long ago.
yeah, 3 days ago.
3 days ago. That's insane.
So
But
what has Mindseye hit in terms of reviews then? Oof. 58 in
it's
game, Rory.
yeah, it's getting worse. We really are getting to to Concord levels here.
I think the only reason Concord is sitting at supposed 66% is because people just didn't have time to review it before it was removed from the store.
It's too bad I can't, like, check out these reviews. It'd be great if I could. But no.
No, there's no page to go and look at them.
Bad times. But yeah, absolute disgrace on Mindseye, really.
Yeah, that's not
It's
good. We can go to Mindseye on Steam and look at the
we
reviews.
can indeed. We just type that, press that, do this, do that.
£55 for this. That is just absurd.
Yeah, or £66.99 if you really want to be a dick. Wait a minute.
Oh no. Oh no. What? It's so much more expensive.
Yeah,
That's absurd.
that works out like 80 quid.
Yeah.
Fuck. No, fuck off. Interesting story.
I think the only way to do this is given the first look here. What's the first thumbs up? Oh, there's one. Okay, clearly delusional. They must have started playing this game after not sleeping for 72 hours.
Heart goes out to the devs that will be facing redundancy. Yeah, I feel bad for the devs, and that's about it. Really don't understand the hate on this game. Yeah, not open world, and combat can use some upgrading, but overall, great story.
I mean,
Game
we
runs
didn't play
fine for
much of it.
me.
I know we didn't. You didn't play much of it, and I was watching what you were playing. But all that I took from the story is some guy choked on some water and then got kidnapped.
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh, and you lost your memory.
Yeah, that's pretty much the biggest thing, yeah.
Can I lose my memory of the memories of this game?
I wish I could.
Also, look, this person has a 3060.
Wait. Like many others, I've seen videos of this game crashing and running rough. I played the game for about 5-ish hours, and it was stable for me. The frame rate was around 25 to 30
I mean,
Nope.
I
Nope.
talk a lot of
Nope.
justice for the 3060, but at the end of the day, it is
Nope.
not that good of a card.
Nah. Nada. You can't call 30 FPS stable. Nope.
No, it's
Nah,
not even 30,
no.
and I guarantee he's leaving out that he probably had stutters and drops to below that,
He
severely below that.
probably did say that, but I am ignoring anything that man has ever that person has ever got to say. If I ever meet them,
I mean, if the guy's playing on a 3060 trying to
hmm,
justify the graphics of a game and how well it runs, you already just click off of it. It's a 3060.
yeah, I'll let my 3080 Ti do the
To,
talking.
to,
Thank you
to
very
give you
much.
some insight, Rory, into how bad this GPU is.
Oh, I know,
When I
I've got
play
one.
Rust, no. It's so bad, Rory. When I play Rust, right? Say when a server wipes, or like you're in an area where there's not that many bases, I can get around 100 to 120 frames, right?
Mhm.
Which is pretty good. We
Yeah.
build our base. We put about 10 boxes in that base and a couple sleeping bags down for respawns. After that, I'm down to 60 to 70 FPS.
See, I
You
don't know.
double the entities you've placed in that base, and I'm down to 40 FPS.
See, the problem is I don't know whether I can blame the GPU alone, because
Or
Rust is an
Rust.
unoptimized pile of mess at the
I'm
best of
going to
times.
say it is both.
Yeah.
If the game was well optimized, that's funny.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
I would like to think I could get at least a stable 60
Yeah,
at
easily.
minimum. But the GPU itself struggles a lot in a lot of aspects.
Oh, 100%.
And to put it out there for anyone who games and anyone who is building PCs and stuff, VRAM isn't everything.
No, of course it's not.
Do your research.
Yeah, please do. Don't be like this guy.
Hey, it was a good
Hi.
price at the time, all right?
Yeah, I know.
See? I'm broke. I've got a broken foot as well. Leave me alone. You're not allowed to bully me this
It's
week.
not broke.
No, it's worse.
Yeah,
Tendons
exactly.
take longer to heal.
Exactly. So just sit up with your feet up, take your painkillers, and shut the fuck up.
Fuck you. I'm not. No.
It is dreadful. Anyways,
I'm gonna fucking jump out the window and land on that foot alone.
I think you would actually try and do that just to spite me.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely.
Major Xbox layoff reportedly coming soon. I'm very surprised to hear this. Oh,
I
right, never mind.
assumed. Uh,
This would be the latest rounds of cuts at Xbox following the 1,900 plus layoffs after the Activision Blizzard deal closed.
didn't we cover something to do with, if Microsoft did successfully acquire Activisions, they wouldn't just be getting rid of like 90% of the people there. They were actually gonna like.
Yeah,
I feel like I recall something about
yeah,
that,
we
and yet
did.
anytime we hear anything relating to Microsoft layoffs, Activision's always included.
Well, yeah, they're part of Microsoft. Microsoft Gaming CEO Phil Spencer previously said the company needed to cut Xbox staff to be a sustainable business. Xbox President
Oh
Sarah
yeah,
Bond
sure.
gave an answer many were not pleased with, as well regarding the job cuts. Some of Microsoft's new moves in gaming recently have included expanding to branded handheld devices and a new Xbox Meta Quest VR headset. 2026 marks the 25th anniversary of Xbox, and Microsoft has big plans. Microsoft's reported latest round of layoffs come amid profitable times for the company. For Microsoft's latest quarter, the company reported net revenue of $70.1 billion, up 13%, and a net profit of $25.8 billion, up 18%. The Xbox division specifically has posted a year-over-year revenue growth. Microsoft's stock price is up nearly 150% in the last 5 years. So once again, why are
What is
you
the reason?
claiming sustainability when you're up 18% in just base profit?
And this is
$25.8
Microsoft.
billion dollars.
This is Microsoft. They are going for our lifetime at the very least. For our generation, they are not gonna go anywhere close to bankrupt or like down bad or in a tough spot. The company of Microsoft is going to be one of probably the richest companies to exist in our lifetime.
Oh, 100% they are.
And the amount of subsidiary companies that they have under them is, so the fact that for no reason at all, from our view, no reason at all, they are laying people off. They're third apparently. Apple number one because Apple charge 7 grand just for a charger.
Yeah.
Nvidia actually the second. I honestly wasn't expecting that.
It's not too shocking when you consider, obviously, how much,
Yeah, fair. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
how many components they make that goes into other devices, and they've got countless bloody, like, uh,
yeah. That's
companies
fair.
that they work with.
For fuck's sake, they probably make billions and billions off of just the fucking 5090s now.
Yeah. So, let's move on to something a bit happier. Co-op climbing game Peak exploded on Steam. So, if we actually have a look at Peak, what has been 110,315 players, which is always nice to see, using the Unity engine and charging £6.39 for the pleasure.
Yeah.
I can't fault that. Price wise, that's pretty good. Just
Nope.
oh, that's full
You can't.
price.
Yeah. No, you can't. You can't go wrong. It's one of those games. You pick it up, you grab a couple friends, and you just go on and have a laugh. And
Yeah,
when it's done well, you can actually have a decent laugh and not get annoyed because there's some stupid mechanic or some ridiculous bug that just completely ruins it all.
no,
It's
exactly.
actually enjoyable to play games like these. But as I said at the start, my only worry about things like this, because of how simple it is
Yeah,
everyone's now going to sit and rip it off. and try and make their quick buck off of it.
Do me a favor. Bring it into VR so then we can have Climby 2. Because that's basically what this is. It's just Climby, but first person.
Yeah.
But yeah, it sits at 93% positive out of 22,569 player reviews. I'm sure you'd love to see how that feels, Mindseye. But no,
the amount of reviews they have, I don't think Mindseye even got that many players.
No, probably not. Yeah, it's sold over 1 million copies in 6 days.
Damn.
Which, it's amazing to see, and it would be sad to see more duplicates, but if anyone does want to make one that's just VR version, we'd be more than happy to play. I don't know about you, Will. Yeah, just jump on, climb around like a lunatic.
Right now, that's not an option for me, considering I can't stand on my 2 feet.
That's true. Give him about a month or two. He'll be fine.
Maybe. We'll see what
Yeah.
they say on not this Wednesday, but next.
Alright, 6 months. Take it or leave it. So, PlayStation PC games are now on Xbox, in a way.
Yeah, what do you mean by that?
So, basically, what's happened is if I go into Xbox, the Xbox app here, don't worry about the minimize thing. It's just been awkward for the sake of being awkward.
Classic.
Yeah, it's delightful. Love it. Absolutely love it. And if I type
Real
in,
slow today, huh?
Yeah, it's my PC just been awkward, I think. Let's
I
see
don't know. I have
if
a feeling if
this
I loaded up
works.
the Xbox app, it'd be the same situation.
Oh no, it's not showing up here. Is it because it's got to be... Oh.
I saw a Spider-Man game there whenever you typed it in.
Give me a minute. If I go to my library and type in... Oh no, it's not there. Why is it not showing up? Hey, go away. Just come off, thank you, dickhead.
It's in alphabetical order. Just go down to S.
That's fair.
No. Too far. Keep going. Alright, there's S. I'm not seeing it.
Oh yeah, it's not there now. Oh wait, no, it'd be M.
Oh right, Marvel's Spider-Man.
Marvel.
Right. Fair. Up. Oh yeah, there's Minecraft. It doesn't seem to be there.
There it is.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, so basically this is what's happening. Any of our Steam games can now be launched from the Xbox platform. Meaning, realistically, we can just jump through these. And this is working on multiple different things. So that's connecting Marvel Spider-Man 2, which is a Sony game, into our Steam library. So, yeah, we're able to play Sony supposed exclusives on PC through Xbox app. Just to be a cunt.
Away.
Oh yeah, but just to be a dick, that's the entire reason. And we both know it.
I mean, it's a start.
Oh, definitely.
It's maybe an awkward start, and they're really trying to make it awkward.
Yeah, they really need to fix their systems sooner rather than later, I'd say. But
they're clearly like trying to resist it, but they know they don't have a choice. So
yeah,
they're getting there.
But yeah, it's literally just the fact that basically they've linked Steam to Xbox. That's what it is. The Xbox app on Windows.
The two platforms are using Steam as like the middleman, essentially.
Yeah. Now, apparently the Xbox app on Windows is now showing Steam games. Yep. And the settings for the new Xbox full screen experience on handhelds is starting to show for some Ally owners. So they're starting to get the handheld system up and running, which is nice. I'll be honest, it's good to see. What do you mean he's weirdly obsessed with console war stuff? He's just showing some... Oh, right, Destin, got you. That makes sense. Yeah, so it's crazy to see, honestly, and it's great to actually see some improvements at the very least coming in, because bloody hell does it need it? It's not had them in how long now?
When you were growing up, Roy,
Yeah.
you saw that Xbox had Halo and PlayStation had whatever the fuck PlayStation had. And you could only play them on their respective console because that's just how it was. You didn't question it, you know. You were too young and stupid to even think that that was actually
Hey,
a thing.
I'm still
Okay.
stupid. Leave me alone.
Did you think that 15 years down the line we'd be sitting here and seeing that it's looking sooner rather than later that we might actually be able to play any game on any device, excluding fucking Nintendo because they're just arseholes.
So it was a fucking pipe dream. I'll be honest. Even before we started this channel, I think for like the past 5-6 years I've been saying this, and it's been a pipe dream of mine. I never believed it to actually come true. It was just something I ranted about a lot because it pissed me off. And now we're
Well,
starting to
Rory,
see like
your
it's
your rants have been
coming.
heard.
Yeah,
Your
I wonder who
arguments have
by.
been answered. We don't
Yeah.
question it. We don't
Well,
question it.
well, now I've got to, because now I've got to find something else to whinge about.
Well, you've got plenty from this year already.
Yeah, true. Mindseye. Fuck off. There you go. I win.
But we're getting there. We're actually nearing towards being able to play anything anywhere. Again, excluding Nintendo.
Yeah,
But
I would.
Nintendo, or not Nintendo, sorry, Sony are starting to break. They're starting to crack. They know they don't have an option. Otherwise, they will just get left behind.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, the same thing happened before when they were holding back and pushing back against the idea of cross-platform play. They didn't like it. They didn't like the idea of it. And over
I mean,
time,
if
they
it's like
stepped
player
in.
versus player, I think crossplay is just completely pointless.
Some people like it. I personally prefer co-op crossplay.
Yeah. No.
Um,
My issue with player versus player is one side is always going to have the advantage. PC, the freedom and the control you have is just compared to console is tenfold. But then alternatively, if a developer really fucks up a console's aim assist and just makes it where,
OP as shit.
yes,
Yeah.
which it has been in the past, then it makes it impossible for a PC player to play because you get this absolute bot person walking around. All they have to do is click and it just fucking does everything for them.
I mean, hey, there's they usually complain about playing with PC players anyways and automatically turn it off because they don't like it and all PC players hack, while ironically ignoring the fact that Cronus is something that's usually installed inside their fucking controllers. Because a lot of them like to cheat with that. There's actually a lot of arguments at the moment in the console space of whether using Cronus is counted as cheating or not. If you've never heard of it or never seen it, Cronus basically, let's say you're... go on, sorry.
I'm pretty sure Cronus is a name of some development team that were to do with Tasmanian Tiger. It was a Kronos. It sounds familiar
Possibly
anyway.
honest. So this is basically what a Cronus does. You can have them installed into your controllers, and you can also
Is
have
it
them
just like a
physically in.
scripter?
Kind of, yes. It basically prevents your recoil from being horrific.
Oh,
Oh,
people will cheat
PS5.
at anything, won't they?
Yeah. Uh, God, I hate this sometimes. Always Microsoft Edge where you've got this issue. Okay. So we're not gonna go with the intro, the costs, PC map. I just want. Oh no, none of that. Yeah, cool.
While we're on the topic of cheaters,
Yeah.
Have you heard what Fist Punch is doing in terms of Rust and cheaters?
No, I haven't.
They are giving cheaters a second chance.
Oh, right.
Anyone who has only been banned once for cheating, doesn't have hardware bans, and hasn't been banned in the last 8 months is going to have their ban lifted and they will be allowed to play again.
That's insanity.
They they quoted they are not naive and understand people change. I
Sure.
think they might be extremely naive, Rory.
Yeah, I'd say so.
For the most part, and when I say this, I would imagine it applies to, I'm going to be generous, I'm going to say at least 80% of cheaters. But once a cheater, always a cheater.
Yeah.
If you broke to the point where you got so pissed or so upset or whatever emotion you had that you had to go and cheat, it'll happen again, no matter how long ago it was, unless you were like a fucking 8-year-old
Oh, here we go.
and you were
Look.
doing it because it's funny.
So,
So is that, I presume that's standard recoil?
I believe so, yeah.
Not hard to control at all.
No.
You're literally just having to pull down.
Yeah. Cronus should be banned in... Do you want to give us some reasoning?
Uh, what?
I'm so confused. Yeah, what I usually see is basically just absolutely... Shut up, you. Speed up. Let's have a look. There's pretty much no recoil there. So, yeah, I get that. Pretty much, yeah, you can set them up and there'll be differences in recoil and how they work. A lot of people don't like it because it feels like it's cheating. My opinion, it
It
is.
yeah, it is. Anything that changes a base mechanic, especially in your favor, is a cheat.
Yeah,
Technically speaking, right? So obviously you are aware that when I play 7 days, especially when they update, I
yeah,
go in and manually change files. So when I ADS, there's no aim cone, there's no spread.
yeah,
Where I shoot, where I'm pointing is where I shoot if I'm aiming. Because in my opinion, that's how guns work.
yeah,
Um, technically speaking, that could be considered cheating. Because I
yeah,
am at the end of the day changing files.
but that's not multiplayer, it's single or co-op.
Yeah, yeah. To me, it just makes sense. I don't get why guns don't shoot where you point them, but hey, who am I to question anything?
Yeah,
But
especially after so
when
many hours on
you
Rust.
when shut up. When you go into a game that is specifically player versus player, and you have literally anything that even ever so slightly changes how anything works, then it can be considered cheating.
Yeah,
Especially if it's a third party software. I am almost certain that every and any game will have in the T's and C's that you are not allowed to use any third party software that is not explicitly approved by the developer or whoever.
yeah. I suppose what's making it harder now is this is third-party hardware.
Yeah. I mean
Everything's in
that's
this
I
hardware.
suppose like when it comes to console, everything usually is hardware.
Yeah, for the most part.
But it still falls under like the same sort of thing, like
Oh,
just
100%.
worded differently. Because I mean, in fairness though, like on TikTok, I've been seeing a lot now. A lot of mouse users with specific mice just
Yep.
come with like a built-in app for scripts.
Yeah, it's getting quite common. I'm not a big
It
fan of it.
is just so stupid that
Hmm?
people feel the need to have these items just so they can fucking quote unquote win. Which
Yeah,
again, as I've always said, if you're cheating, you're not the one winning because the fucking program's doing it all for you.
exactly.
You're just a spectator at that point.
I'll keep to my G502 hero. Thank you very much.
I mean,
My
I have
favorite
like
mouse.
an 18-pound mouse, and I've not needed anything better.
I like my mouse. It's comfortable.
My mouse does the job, and it's great because when I play single player games, I have an auto clicker for it,
Yeah, you do.
which I barely
Uh,
use, to be honest. Now, not really
that's
needed.
good considering like the amount of times I've bloody like seen you use it in a game with me.
I mean, the most I'm using it for is to spit out 5,000 items at once because it's funny.
That sounds about right. Ugh.
Uh, you know I'm an idiot and enjoy it. Leave me alone.
Oh yeah, that I do. Anyways, with all that said and done, I think I've covered everything that I'd like to cover this week, unless there's anything you'd like to add, Will.
No, I think I've talked enough shit about the things that upset me.
No worries at all. Then, with all that said and done, thank you all very much for watching. If you have enjoyed, feel free to like, follow, subscribe, comment, and all that good stuff, and join the Discord that is in the description. And we will catch you all in the next episode.
Yeah, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye for now.